Hey there, moguls. It's me, Marshall Sylver, your personal millionaire maker. Getting very excited about my brand new show. 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. I'm going to broadcast live to you. In the first hour of the broadcast, I'm going to give you content, information for better sex, more money, emotional, mental, physical, and even spiritual power. I'll also invite some of my cool multi-millionaire and billionaire friends onto the show to give you more direction, more advice, more strategies and gambits for having it all. The second hour is what I'm most excited about. It's when I get a chance to chat with you. Yes, you. Where you can call in, talk to me, ask me questions. And if you say the secret word of the day, you could win $5,000 cash. At the very least, if you're the most interesting call of the day, you could also win 10 ounces of freshly minted Marshall Sylver 999 fine silver. All of that and more. Brand new Mercedes-Benz sedan or SUV up for grabs. My personal Rolls-Royce Phantom up for grabs. All the knowledge to get everything you want and so much more. All you got to do is log in to the show to get information about its release coming up. 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, coming to you live from the bunker right here at Studio Money. I'm Marshall Sylver, your personal millionaire maker.
Let me bring in our hypnotist, Marshall Sylver.
It's Marshall Sylver, ladies and gentlemen, the world's fastest hypnotist.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Right there. Today on the Marshall Sylver Live Show, we're here to talk about, oh, yes. Oh, my God. Sex. Not only are we here to talk about sex, we're here to talk about satisfaction in general and how you can have a more pleasing life, how you can get more of everything you want in every single area starting right now. If you like that idea, I like that idea for you, and I want to show you how to get that done. A few bits of business before we get started. We've given away 30 ounces of pure silver, 10 ounces at a time. I have an additional 10 ounces to give away today to someone who gives me a call and asks an interesting question. Could be you, could be absolutely anybody. Guaranteed going to give away the silver today. Our second broadcast of Marshall Sylver Live. Yeah, there's the silver bar right now. It is 10 ounces. As you can see, it's a pretty hefty piece of metal. And the beauty is, if you can see it real close, that's an exact facsimile there on the graphic. It is 10 ounces of 0.999 fine silver. If you want to get pure silver, you got to tune into the show. In addition, today, second day of the show, since nobody won the $5,000 yesterday, I'm going to add an additional $500 to it. And we got $5,500 up for grabs for anybody who can tell me the secret word that lives in this box. I'll give you some clues during the first part of today's show so that when you call in, you can mention the secret word in passing. And if you do, today, you'd win $5,500. And we're going to keep bumping that bottom line total up until somebody wins all the cash. Today's a very special day. And not only is it historic because it's the second day of our broadcast, it's historic because today, a few years ago, the most important experience of my life happened, and I didn't even know it. A few years ago, on this day, a most amazing human being was born. Her name is Erica Sylver. Yep, that's right, my bride. Today is her birthday, and we'd like to all wish Erica Sylver a very happy birthday, and she is the best decision I ever made, so I thought it was fitting that today we'd talk about the one thing that's most important to me, and that is love. We're talking specifically about sex, which isn't equal to love, and I'm going to get in some details about that. I'm going to talk about how you can turn up your turn on, how you can increase your charisma and become more sexy to the people you want to be sexy for, and so much more. So it is a phenomenal day. And by the way, I notice who's chatting in the chat. I see a whole bunch of people wishing Erica a very happy birthday. She loves that. So make sure you let her know that. And beyond all of that, got a few people asking me to ruin them. And I really love ruining people. You ride with me once on the private jet, you'll like it. You ride with me twice on the private jet, you will like it a lot. You ride with me 3 times on a private jet, and it will ruin you for life. A wallet once expanded will never contract to its original state. Once you get used to living life in a bigger fashion, you will never, ever, ever go back. So this is day 2. I told you that I was concerned about doing this broadcast live every day because it owns my life. 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, giving away thousands of dollars in cash, answering your questions about life. Plus, this show is also going to give you an additional revenue stream. And I'm going to talk more about that as we go along. It's a show that could, if you're like Andrew Schlegg, make you 6 solid figures in a month, maybe even get you a brand new Mercedes-Benz sedan or SUV, and so much more. So keep listening to this broadcast. One more note I want to note, because this is really great news. Came to the studio this morning here at Silver Sands and walked in, and there was a graphic on my desk that pleased me. The graphic is the rating for this particular broadcast on day 2. And there it is on the screen right now. On day 2, you will note that already after one broadcast, we are number 5 on Apple Podcasts for investing, which is not even a category that we're seeking to excel in. And you can see we beat out Bigger Pockets, which are some friends of mine, great real estate show. Everybody knows Motley Fool. We beat out Motley Fool as well. And creeping up on Dave Ramsey. And that's what I want to do, creep up there on Dave Ramsey and give you actually some good financial advice. So there you have it. So we're excited. Yeah, number 5 today, second day of the broadcast, and it's all because of you. So tell your friends, share the broadcast on your timeline so that everybody can have a peek, see what we're doing over here. Maybe they can win some cash. Frankly, if they do, they're probably going to thank you. The word of the day today is not the secret word of the day. The word of the day today, as our topic goes, is indeed sex. S-E-X. The basis of all good relationships, not just intimate relationships. And sex, in this instance, is an acronym. S period E period X period. What's it stand for? Here's what it stands for. S stands for security. All of us, the human condition is such that our first and foremost tendency, characteristics, personality trait is to make sure we are secure, that we are safe. And so the S stands for security. You're walking down an alley and you're hungry. Nobody's threatening you. You're hungry. Walking down the alley, you're hungry. Somebody jumps out of the shadows, puts a gun to your head, and says, I'm going to kill you. In that moment, I guarantee you, the last thing on your mind is the fact that you're hungry. You're not thinking about it. You don't care. All you care about is getting that gun away from your head. So the S stands for security, could stand for safety, could stand for the opposite of anything that would threaten a person's physical and life well-being. That's the reason sometimes when people are in relationships and they don't feel safe, no matter what you do, no matter how much you gift them or do for them or enrich the quality of their lives, the relationship is bad because there's no security. When Erica and I met, I decided to have a very different relationship. You see, in the past, I'd always been in relationships, including my 2 marriages, frankly, prior to Erica, prior to marrying my one true wife, that I would break up in a relationship and then get back together with the person that I had broken up with. And this was a pattern that I had done my entire life. And I always thought it was okay. I thought you had to work through bugs. I thought you'd get through grief. The challenge was every relationship I ever went back to ever after it broke up turned out the exact same way. In other words, if you pick a book that you've already read back up, I guarantee you the ending is almost certainly the same. And that's the reason as I progress through life, and I believe in relationships, relationships are built on agreements. You'll know you have an agreement when both sides acknowledge it. And if you don't have an agreement, then what you've got to do is establish boundaries. What do I mean by that? An agreement is something both parties in the relationship agree to. That makes sense. It's simple. What's a boundary? A boundary is a personal agreement. It's an agreement with yourself. What that means is other people don't have to agree with your boundary, but if they overstep your boundary, there's a consequence. I'll give you a couple of my boundaries. One of my boundaries is I don't like to be hit, not even in play. I don't like you to walk up to me and go, hey, Marshall, how you doing? and give me a little swack on the shoulder, I don't like it. I had circumstances when I was growing up that I experienced physical contact that I didn't like. And so that is a boundary for me. If we're in a relationship, if we're buddies and you have a habit of pounding me on the shoulder or, give me a little love tap like that, I'm going to tell you, I realize your intentions are good. I don't like it. Please don't do that anymore. Another boundary that I have is I don't like profanity used in anger. Now, I'm no prude. I can drop a good F bomb in an intimate moment and frankly like dropping it and talking dirty. Except I don't like profanity when people are angry because it tells me they're out of control. And as we talk about relationships and we talk about agreements, one of the number one agreements needs to be never, ever, 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 ever lose your cool. And I know that's hard to do, except I'm going to give you some strategies during this broadcast that will assist you in keeping your cool, maintaining the quality of your relationships, and getting more in your life. One of the other agreements that I had with Erica, in fact, I had it with a relationship prior to Erica, it was the first one that I had, was that if you ever reach a point where we're done, and before we were married, if you just say we're breaking up, or after we're married, you say I want a divorce, if you ever get to a point where you think we're done, and you say we're done, we're done. And the reason I created that boundary and asked for that agreement with Erica is I realized that, again, that gets thrown around too easily. Too many couples threaten breaking up or threaten divorce. And if you don't talk about divorce, guess what? If it's not top of mind, you won't move that direction. If it's always top of mind, it's guaranteed gonna happen. So you want to make sure that you don't let it happen. So we don't talk about divorce. We don't mention breaking up. I had a girlfriend, the one just prior to my beautiful bride. And I had that agreement with her. I said, look, I'm breaking a bad habit all my life. I've gotten together with the people that I've broken up with and then broken up again, got together again, broken up again, including my previous 2 marriages. And I said, it doesn't work. It's not healthy and I've got to stop it. So if you ever feel the need for us to be done and you say we're done, we're done. Sure enough, one day we got into a fight and she said, we're done. And I said, do you remember that agreement? Yes, that's fine. I love that agreement. That agreement is perfect. We are done. Okay. So we broke up and she went back to LA and I had a house in San Diego and one in Vegas. And I'm down at the San Diego house a couple weeks later. She calls me on the phone and she said, hey, I was wondering if you want to hang out. And I said, we broke up. Do you remember? She said, yes, but you don't have to be that way. I said, I'm not being anyway. We broke up. She said, well, what's that mean? I said, we're broken up. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend, and we will never, ever be boyfriend and girlfriend. And she said, well, you don't have to be that way. Could we just hang out? And I said, yeah, let's definitely break up. And if we get back together, we'll date. We can go out, but we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Sure enough, she came down, visited me. And when she asked me if I was seeing somebody else, I said, none of your business. She said, well, that's not fair. If we're going to date, you need to tell me if you're seeing somebody else. I said, we're dating, but we're not a couple. And it's none of your business who else I'm dating. And let that be an answer. Well, to most people, that would be a pretty obvious answer. She tested the water. She brought her laptop over to the house one day, set it up on the dining room table, left it open to Match.com. So I took it upon myself to message some gentleman I thought would be a good fit on her behalf and to get her set up with a better date than me. When I met Erica, one of the first things I said was, if you ever feel the need to break up, just know it's done. We're done. And I'm happy to say we just celebrated 17 years. We've never said it's done. Why? Because that S in sex, security, is the foundation to healthy relationships. Stop leveraging, stop holding things over people's heads, and just stop doing it. Hey, we're going to open up the phone lines, and we always like to have the crawl on the screen so you know how you can get on the air. Like I said, you can get on the air. You can talk about anything. Anything is open and available, a whole umbrella of conversation. So you can talk about anything with me. Ask me questions about your relationships. Today's a special day about making money, emotional, mental, physical well-being. Just go to studiomoney.info/green room. Let them know that you'd like to be on the air. Let them know you have a question. And one of my producers will chat with you, make sure that we're in line and get you in holding. If today's like any other day, and this is only the second day if today's like yesterday or the test that we did, we will have more than enough calls for the show. And in fact, yesterday we had 4 extra people sitting in the green room when we ran out of time. We will have more than enough calls. So by all means, get into the green room. Go to studiomoney.info/green room, and they'll let you know how to get on the air. So you could potentially win 10 ounces of pure silver. Like I said, guaranteed somebody's going to win it. We've already given away 30 ounces. I'd like to give away 10 more ounces today. And I'd really like to give away $5,500, $5,500 cash. And when I give away that cash, be sure that it's going to be a bright, sunny day for you. You're going to love it. In fact, it's going to be so bright, you're going to need to wear your shades. You need to cover yourself up because you're going to have so much extra cash in your pocket, you didn't know what you're going to have. So in the acronym SEX, the basis of all great relationships, S stands for security. What does E stand for? E stands for the essence of life, the essence of what's required in that circumstance. Well, in a relationship, one of the essences might be that somebody wants 10 hugs a day. In the relationship, the essence might be they really need to hear the words, I love you, at least once every day. The essence of the relationship may be they need sex once a day, once a week, once a month, never, whatever it is. But the essence is the essence, bare bones minimum of what's required to keep that relationship healthy. So whether it's the essence of health, meaning I need a minimal amount of food in my life, if it's the essence of clothing, I need adequate clothing to keep me warm, the essence of adequate shelter so I'm not living on the streets. E in any relationship stands for the essence of what's required to survive. Now, the X in sex is the most important part of the equation. What is the X? Security, essence, extras, everything else. Guy is dating a gal, they're having troubles. He wants to win her over, goes to the florist shop, buys 37 bouquets of roses, and buys out the whole floral shop, buys out the whole flower shop, brings all these bouquets back to his girlfriend's apartment while she's gone, fills up the apartment to surprise her just to demonstrate how much he loves her. She comes home, the relationship is troubled, she's on the rocks, she wants to break it off, doesn't know what to do, walks into the apartment, and under a normal circumstance, if she was secure, her essence was met, she was happy, the flowers would have been great. But because there isn't security, the bare bones needs aren't being met, all the flowers are a stinky interruption in the middle of the day, and she won't be able to give them away fast enough. So if you're a guy, if you're a gal for that matter, and you're trying to save your relationship and you're pouring on all the gifts and all the extras, realize that's not going to do it. And what you got to do is get back to basics and find out first and foremost, do they feel threatened? Secondly, are their needs being met? I want you to write this down. Unmet needs get met. And as unpopular as that is, it's a fact. It's the truth. If you're in a relationship and your relationship desires, your significant other desires certain things that you are not providing, hugs, kisses, adulation, compliments, sex, whatever it is, if you're not providing the things that are needed by that other person to experience love in a way that's meaningful to them, then guess what? It won't matter. All the extras won't matter. So make sure you're filling them up. Now, that said, everybody's essence is different. Secure essence is the key. And I'll give you a good example. One of my essences, I like gratitude. I like grateful people. I have been massively blessed. I have made hundreds of millions of dollars. Thank you, God. And so my essence is gratitude. I don't mind picking up the check. I don't mind taking care of people. I don't mind shocking people with really great gifts. The bottom line, though, is all I want to hear is thank you. This morning, we woke up early. Erica's birthday. She wanted to go do a nice breakfast at one of her favorite breakfast places. It's her birthday. We left, got in the car. First thing Erica said was, thank you so much for that amazing breakfast. And the next thing she said was, kids, thank daddy for breakfast. I'll do it every day. 365 and a quarter, all lifetime long, because gratitude expands things. Erica's essence is physical contact. One of her core needs is pretty substantial affection. And I'm not talking about sex, although she loves sex, and that's one of the reasons we're together. Both of us have a big appetite. We determined early on that was important. My experience has been if the sexual need isn't met by on either party, that relationship is doomed. There's going to be a challenge in that relationship. So if you're in a relationship, it's important to establish what the agreements are. If you're not in a relationship, it's important to establish that before you get into one so they know what your expectation is. Erica loves hugs. And in fact, if I walk past Erica, she's in the kitchen doing dishes or making dinner. If I walk through the space that crosses by her, she wants more affection. She wants a hug. She wants a pat on the butt. She wants a kiss on the cheek or a bite on the neck. Any number of things I can do to keep that slow cooker cooking while my microwave is ready at the snap of a penny. So the bottom line is understand your mate's essence, understand what their basic needs are before you dive into giving them all the extras. Taking a look, 5 love languages. Yes, Michael. It is quite accurate. And it's whether it's 5 love languages or not, it's all about understanding that what you want isn't necessarily what your mate wants. And if what your mate wants isn't something you find important, you better find a way to operate in what I call the taking touch. You better find a way to get great pleasure out of giving them what they want. When I hug Erica, I have a tendency to hug a little longer than I think she wants to hug. In fact, I do that with most people is that I hold that hug a little bit longer than most people would hold the hug. It does 2 things. First and foremost, it's a pattern interrupt. It lets them know that they're that much more special to you. You just can't get enough of them. The second thing it does is it interrupts their day as far as their brain and their wiring is concerned, because now what they're saying is, why did they hug me extra long? What is it about me that made them so they couldn't let go of me? And it goes a long way. So today, practice hugging people for just a little bit too long and see what their response is. I want to talk about men and women. I want to talk about our distinctions, what makes us unique, and what allows us to play well together. And I realize that I've got a lot of viewers on this show. I realize I got a lot of people that are in relationships, different kinds of relationships, maybe some same-sex relationships. I have no judgment. I want people to be happy. I think if you find love once in a lifetime, you're among in the words of Kenny Loggins, chosen few. So I support any kind of loving, healthy relationship, no matter what it looks like, no matter how it shows up for you, as long as nobody else is being harmed. That said, in any relationship, there's generally speaking somebody who is of a productive personality trait and somebody who is primarily of an attractive personality trait. And generally speaking, the male energy, the masculine energy, tends to be an energy of production. The female energy, the feminine energy, tends to be an energy of attraction. Now, that said, obviously, gender is gender. And I want to go on record, even though we're on multiple platforms that could get me kicked off immediately, I want to go on record so you know who you're talking to. There's 2 genders. There's no more than 2 genders. There's 2 genders. And if somebody wants to believe they're a different gender, that's their right. They can do whatever they want to do. They want to believe that they're a cat or an elephant or a cat. It doesn't matter. You can believe whatever you want to believe. What you can't do is invite other people into your neuroses. What you can't do is force other people to see the world from your worldview. Number one, they're likely not going to do it. Number 2, if it's required for your happiness, you're setting yourself up for failure. Number 3, facts is facts. And so part of what's going on in society these days is society, higher powers, mainstream media, the deep state, they all want you confused. They want you frustrated. They want you angry. They want you upset. I was looking at a report this morning before Erica woke up. I was looking at a report and I was looking at the attack that occurred down at Joel Osteen's church in the past few days. And the attack was by somebody who was transgender. And that's not to say that transgenders attack people, but my experience has been when we are confused or hurt or lost in our identity, it's hard to think straight. When I don't know myself, when I'm not my authentic self, it's hard to make clear decisions. And I'm not judging anybody, and I'm not saying it's across the board. What I am saying, and you can research this, is most of the recent attacks, like what just happened at Joel Osteen's church, are occurring in a society that is massively confused about morals and ethics, circumstance, and even gender. There, I said it. I might lose a big part of the audience. I might have to battle even bigger to beat Dave Ramsey, except I said it, and that's a fact. If my child came to me and was confused about things, I would tell them, number one, you're loved no matter what. No matter what you decide at the end of this conversation, you are loved. Number two, here's the facts. Right now, we've got schools grooming kids, public schools grooming kids, and causing confusion. There's no confusion. You can see the trim on my sweater today is purple, my favorite color. My second favorite color, teal. Third favorite color, pink. Doesn't change my gender. It's just my favorite colors. When you start thinking about life, though, what I want you to start thinking about is not just anatomy. I want you to start thinking about personality traits, because that's going to be what gets you a better life. So if you take a look and think about the male energy as a masculine energy, one of productivity, then you can start realizing, if I want people to surrender to me, if I want Erica to surrender her life to me and be my bride, then I must demonstrate that I am productive enough, that she is safe enough. Comes back to that S again, doesn't it? That she is safe enough that she can surrender. When Erica and I met, she stepped into a life of private jets and huge parties and trips to Sir Richard Branson's private Necker Island and the best restaurants and the best life. And when we met, she was working 3 jobs, going to college, trying to have a better life. And neither one of us knew whether it was going to be long term or not. No, neither one of us could have predicted we'd be together some 17 years later. I did tell her, you're going to get used to this life. And it's a two-edged sword. You're going to get used to this life. You're going to like this life. And you're going to want this life. The challenge is, if we break up, you won't have this life anymore. So I'm like winning the lottery. It's both a good thing and a dangerous thing. Be aware. Next thing that you want to ponder is that the female energy is an energy of attraction. What does that mean? If I want somebody to do something for me, if I want someone to provide for me, if I want someone to give something to me, to be inspired to do my bidding, then I've got to figure out a way to become so attractive, I become fun for them to do that thing for. We were at breakfast this morning, and my 2 sons were there. My daughter was there. And I looked into my daughter's eyes, and she was glowing. Her birthday was 2 days ago. She's 9. Erica's birthday today. My daughter was glowing. And I said to her, one of my favorite things in the world is to see your eyes smiling. Best thing in the world. When you're a person that produces at a high level, your greatest joy is producing for other people, which gives you the ability to produce more because you like producing. If you're the kind of a person, if you're a guy especially, and you have a need for your significant other, your girlfriend, your wife, if you have a need for your significant other to also be productive, you're going to set yourself up for trouble. That doesn't mean that the significant other that might be a female cannot produce. Gosh, I hope they produce better than you. The fact of the matter is, though, the strongest strategy and position you can take is to tell them, look, you take care of me, I'll take care of everything. If a woman is attractive enough that a guy wants to produce at that level for her, then everything is magic. Now, that also said, self-confidence is what makes us attractive. It's not what's going on with our physical body. It's not how slender or how fat or how tall or how short or with the color of our hair or our eyes or it's nothing. It's self-confidence. Self-confidence is what makes us attractive. And what makes us attractive in self-confidence is when we carry ourselves as if we are a gift to other people, our physical form simply doesn't matter anymore. I used to think that I needed a full head of hair to be attractive. I used to think that it was important for my career as an entertainer, as a performer, as a public figure, that I needed to have a full head of hair. And from the time I was 21 years old and I had started losing my hair at 19, by the time I was 21 years old and had lost a significant amount of hair, I said, you know what, I'm going to take charge of this. And I started wearing a hair replacement. And many of the pictures you see of me in my younger years, I'm wearing a hair replacement. Never liked it. always felt inauthentic, hated going on roller coaster rides because if I went on a roller coaster, when they snapped the picture at the end, my picture was always this. Because I didn't want my hair flying off my head. I went boogie boarding in front of the beach house one day, and I came out of the water, and my girlfriend, who didn't know that I wore a hair replacement, was on the beach, and she saw me in the water, and she went, ah! It was in that moment I realized something had happened. I reached up to push my hand through my hair, and it wasn't there. So somewhere in Southern California, the incredible Mr. Limpet not only has glasses, he now has a full head of hair. If you laughed at that joke, you're at least 60 years old. So one of the things that I know is that in a great relationship, what you want to do is you want to bring your authentic self to the equation. In other words, don't send your representative to the first few dates. If your authentic self isn't enough to charm and please and inspire that other person, then guess what? It's not the dishonesty that's going to make the relationship better. It's not sending the representative that's going to make the relationship better. It's going to be working on you that makes your relationship better. In fact, if you're a single person, I tell you right now, and you can write this down, take it to the bank. Become what you want to attract, because that's who you're going to attract anyway. Become what you want to attract. If you'd like somebody that was more honest, be more honest. If you'd like somebody that's more kind, be more kind. If you like somebody that likes sex more often because you do, then put that on the table right off the bat. Don't hide the fact. Don't compromise the fact. Don't do anything. Don't negotiate the fact. Find somebody that's in a relationship that would like to be with you. Top 5 needs in a relationship. Top 5 needs of men and women. They're very different. And this is not mine. This is from a book called His Needs, Her Needs. Top male need in a relationship. Top 5 male needs. Top number 1 need of a man in a relationship. Can you guess? By the way, if you have any questions about relationship, about money, about emotional, mental, physical, spiritual well-being, by all means, go to studiomoney.info/green room. Yes, number 1 need in a relationship for a man. I see Michael wrote it in the chat. I see Heather wrote it in the chat. That's right. Sex. Sex. It's important to men, ladies. Don't get angry at us. We didn't, number 1, write the book, nor did we create the certainty or the truth. It's a fact. Sex. Yes, sex. Guess what the number 2 need of the top 5 needs for a man is? Sex. And 3 is sex, and 4 is sex, and 5.
Isn't it time for your first million? Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to do what you love and learn how to monetize that on a 7-figure level? Do you want to know exactly what you need to do and what not to do to have your biggest year ever? If not now, when? First Million. A 2-day subconscious learning experience that both teaches and programs you with the personality traits and habits of multimillionaires. At First Million, you'll learn how to take almost any wealth vehicle to a 7-figure level or better. You'll learn how to stop using vehicles that don't work, are too difficult, or simply unsuited for you. Making money is supposed to be fun. Stop living your life, getting ready to live your life, and start living a life of adventure. First Million was crafted to not just change what you do, it's also going to change who you are. Instead of trying to become a millionaire, you'll learn that you're already a millionaire, even if the money has not yet been deposited in your bank account. Beyond mindsets, you'll learn the actual personality traits of multimillionaires, so you'll naturally do what millionaires do to produce a similar result. One of the key personality traits of a millionaire is charisma. Imagine being able to walk into a room and without speaking a word, have the entire room drawn to you. Imagine others hanging on your every word, wanting to be near you, to be in business with you, and hungry to buy whatever you're selling. First Million will teach you how to use the charisma that politicians, entertainers, CEOs, and celebrities use to move nations and make millions. You'll also learn how to get more done in less time. You'll learn priority management and what the highest and best use of your time is. You'll learn laser-like focus upon IGAs, or income-generating activities, and you'll learn to let go of anything below your pay grade. What if you had more customers than you ever imagined? What if they came right to you and fought to buy from you? At First Million, you'll learn attraction marketing and strategies to get others to pay you for your marketing and advertising before they even purchase your offer. When you attend Your First Million, you'll begin to see an overwhelming amount of amazing opportunities all around you. You'll look through the matrix and easily identify target-rich environments. You'll learn dovetailing and stacking strategies to acquire more customers and do more business with the customers you already have. Unless something is sold, no money is made. Whether you're a sales pro, a novice, or even scared to death of selling something, Your First Million is going to have you fall in love with influence and enjoy it as the game that it is. When you believe in what you're selling, you're obligated to sell it. You'll learn exact language patterns of influence and persuasion. You'll learn how to get others to ask you for what you're selling and have them believe it was their idea. You'll become dynamically able to use arcing statements, direct links, embedded commands, and so much more. An entire tool belt of selling gambits will be yours after you get to Your First Million. As a First Million alumni, you will be clear on what you need to do to GTFM, or get the freaking money. You deserve great wealth, and Your First Million will help to raise your self-esteem around the topic of money. The amount of money you make will always be determined by your own self-image. You'll learn what billion-dollar corporations already know about outsourcing, how to get anything below your pay grade done for pennies on the dollar. Your First Million will give you the groundwork to understand presentation skills and the highest paid profession on the planet, public speaking. When you graduate from Your First Million, you'll be able to create presentations that inspire with confidence and power. If all that weren't enough, there's so much more. Making Your First Million is almost certainly going to require that you manage at least a small team. You'll walk out of the course with the knowledge of how to lead teams and synergistically get more done in less time. Technology has made our lives so much easier as we've learned how to harness it. The First Million course will teach you what is up to date and available in technology so that you can use that cutting-edge technology to get more done and have more fun. You'll also learn how to harness the power of the internet for massive passive profits. Every time you attend Your First Million, you'll learn new technology and internet marketing strategies, as these two portions of the class change every time you attend. It's like getting a brand new seminar each time you come. If you're a representative, you may attend Your First Million as often as you like, totally free, with your enrollment in the First Million course. If you're not yet a rep, or if you have not yet invested in Your First Million, enroll now. Everything begins in thought, and you know what you want to say. Go ahead, say it now. Say it out loud. I'm ready for my first million.
Marshall Sylver. Enthusiasm, and enthusiasm makes me give things away. Who here wants free money? Put your hands up, so I can see you in the back. Don't think that I won't want to give you free money. I got pockets filled with cash. Who wants free money? Say oh yeah. That's better, LA. Who here would like to eat fire? 18 inches, 3%. Watch, here we go. Who here believes that people just walk up to you and give you money for no reason whatsoever? your hand over there went up first before anybody's. Don't bother raising him, it won't change things. You with the little thing on top of your head. Yeah, you. Stand up, hurry. No, not on the hat. The young lady right there. Come here, move quickly. I get paid by the hour and I'm very expensive. Come here, hurry. Don't worry, there's only 16,000 people waiting. What's your name? Danielle, you believe people just walk up to you and give you money for no reason whatsoever? I want you to have a better belief. Do you believe people just walk up to you and give you money for no reason whatsoever? That's a better answer. She said first, if you're in the right place at the right time. No, it's everywhere. Well, I've been talking all morning about velocity and about you need to put money into the universe to make it come back. I've been talking about the fact that that's what I do. That's why I'm wealthy. If you believe people just walk up to you and give you money for no reason whatsoever, I believe this cash is yours. What do you believe? Make her feel good. Are you into hugs? How many of the rest of you believe people just walk up to you and give you money for no reason whatsoever? Some of you are earning. Some of you are saying, no, you just give all of your money today. No, I didn't get all of my money today. We got plenty of cash to give away. Sit up front, there you go. You are awesome, brother. You are loved.
I will see you in the
I am so looking forward to seeing you there. I want to shake his hand. You are the man. What is your name? I will remember your name as soon as you tell me what it is. I have no concerns. You are loved, my friend. I will never forget that name. I want to ask you a question. You went back there without even knowing what the offer was. You went back there on a complete ape. You went back there and said, I don't care what this man is selling, I'm buying, didn't you?
I want a front row seat. They wouldn't sell me one. She says, all you have to do is be there.
You know what? You did great on that. You know what? All I want you to do, keep it.
I have cheated you for the last 10 years. And I will be a millionaire. I will bet you. I will be a millionaire.
Hey, let me do something. Yes, you are right. When we do not produce at the highest possible levels for the people that we love, for our families, you know what? You're right, we're cheating them. When we step up and say, you know what? I haven't been the person I want to be. I'm stepping into that person. Then we step into glory. What you just did took great faith. It took great vulnerability. You are a man who deserves great prosperity. You are a man who deserves great love. You're welcome, my friend. Never feel good. Don't be sorry. Make it feel good. I will tell you that every single person of the millions of people that I've taught how to eat fire, that have commanded me to light it up now, have thanked me for it. If that's what you want. April, you are going to get a standing ovation from the best looking, smartest people in the room. All the dumb, ugly ones will just sit there. Put your foot down and say, unstoppable. Imagine a plane is there. Say yes. Lick your lips. Breathe in deep. Hold your breath. All the way in. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. Hold it. Here comes the standing ovation. Open your mouth. Breathe out. Say power. Oh yeah.
I'm here at the Next Level event in Las Vegas, and this has been the most transformational week of my life. I got to a point where before this event, I had nothing less to hold on to. I lost my apartment, the love of my life, went through the worst heartbreak I've ever experienced. I now feel stronger than I ever have. I have more confidence in my future than I could have imagined. So I gotta say, Marshall, thank you. Thank you for putting everything together. Thank you for believing in us, for pouring everything you have into your students. As a result of that, you've saved my life. For anyone who's out there that's going through something, whether it's emotional, whether it's a business challenge, if there's something in your life that you're looking to change, I guarantee you, come to one of these events, Turning Point, the next level, and you will find the solutions, and you'll be strong, and you'll be ready to take on whatever direction it is you're wanting to go.
Just participating in the Marshall Sylver Next Level. It's phenomenal. It's great. It really pushes yourself. I mean, when you come here, you're really pushing yourself like as it is to the next level. Kind of cocky when I'm like, oh yeah, big tough guy, gonna be destroying this course. But especially when you're up on the high things, you really feel the nerves and you're like, oh god. But you know, you really just gotta trust yourself because that's what it's all about. Is just trusting yourself. Thanks again, Marshall Sylver, for the next level. See you soon.
I'm here at the Next Level event by Marshall Sylver. It is just amazing. Between the physical challenges, the team challenges, I really felt like I took my life and my business to the next level. Thanks, Marshall and AJ. It's amazing.
What can I say? Next Level is always amazing. As you saw in that short clip, the breakthroughs and the advancements and the understandings that people come to are not available anywhere else. You can only get them here at the Next Level. To all the people that have come through the Next Level, I am so glad to have been able to be a part of this part of your life. I trust that the advancements and the understandings will continue to bless you for a lifetime. And to the folks that are considering Next Level, I just want you to know that in your life, there are so many times when you wanted to do something and it felt right for you to do it, and you hesitated, you didn't follow through, you didn't go to the next level. I want you to consider those moments and all those regrets you might have had, and don't do it again. Don't do it anymore at all. Come with us. Let us take your life to the next level. I'll see you there.
And just when you think you have a perfect formula for everything, stuff happens. That's life. At any rate, welcome back. Glad you had a chance to see some of the programs that we teach at Certainty International. You just saw a little clip of me on stage in front of 15,000 people in a real estate training program. You saw the Turning Point. You saw the Next Level. Next Level sells for $15,000. That last course I just did. And I'm going to give somebody who's never been to Turning Point, who calls me up and chats with me, who goes to studiomoney.info/green room. I'm going to give somebody who calls into the show today a $3,000 Turning Point ticket and also a $15,000 ticket to Next Level. So if you are in the green room and you're waiting to get on the show with me, you could have already won $18,000, let alone might get also 10 ounces of pure silver and ultimately could win the grand prize today of $5,500 if you have the secret word. So anyway, I was talking about top male needs, and I want to cover this before we get to the top of the hour. Number one, sex. Without sex, we'll just get a dog. Number two, we want our woman to be attractive. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? If the male energy is an energy of production, then we want to be able to say, have you seen my car, my house? Have you met my wife? So we want our wife to be attractive. And remember, once again, I said before we went to that little break, that attractiveness is created by self-confidence. So if you don't like the way you look, let it go. There's someone or many someones for everybody. So let it go. I have four brothers. They all have Elvis Presley heads of hair. As you can see, my head, not quite so much. Yet that's not what makes me attractive. What makes me attractive is my unstoppable confidence, my certainty that anybody's life is blessed because I am in it, my ability to understand the distinction between cockiness and confidence. Confidence allows for greatness in other people. You don't need to keep pretending you're less than who you are just to make other people feel better. You'd be better off helping them feel better by being all that you can be and giving them a boost up, which is what this show is all about. So, number one, a man wants sex. Number two, he wants his wife to be attractive. Number three, he wants companionship. Women, you guys are really good at creating relationships. My wife can walk into a party and within moments, she's best friends with half a dozen women in the place. Meanwhile, all the guys are kind of standing around, arms folded, just kind of grunting at each other. So, to a man, his significant other, in my case for sure, to most men, their wife, their girlfriend, or both, I'm joking, their wife or their girlfriend is the center of their universe. Erica is the best decision I ever made in my entire life. She is the center of my universe. Number three, a man wants domestic support. What is domestic support? A clean house, a latte. My beautiful bride, while I was on the air, even though it's her birthday, the moment I got on the air, came down the stairs with a latte and an entire carafe of coffee to make sure that I was completely energized for you. Erica likes to wake up early in the morning, go downstairs, give me my latte, come back to the bed while I'm still sleeping, waft the smell of the coffee underneath my nose, and wake me up by snuggling with me. What a great way to wake up. One of the things that I am positive about is that little thing that she does, wafting the coffee, getting me my latte, taking care of me in the morning, inspires me to take care of her throughout the entire rest of the day. Number four, domestic support. And there's something for the ladies, by the way, that balances that out just fine. So ladies, you'll be happy. But by the way, I want to be sure to be clear on this topic. Erica doesn't clean the house. She manages the house staff, though. Ultimately, at the end of the day, she takes charge of this environment. So when I come home after slaying dragons and fighting demons, when I come home from that hard day, guess what? My house is in order. My refrigerator is filled with food that I like. My clothes back from the dry cleaners with all the plastic bags and tags gone. When I walk through the door at the end of the day, I sit down on the couch. Erica immediately takes off my shoes and starts to massage my feet. That's domestic support. Number five, a man wants to be admired. We want to be built up. We want to be encouraged to produce at a higher level. Top five female needs. Guess what number one is for the women? Put it in the chat. Top five female needs. Guess what the number one need for a woman in a relationship is? Go to the chat. Tell me what you think it is. Ask Erica. Not a bad idea. I'll tell you what it is. Non-sexual physical attention. Talked about it already. Hugs. Like I said, Erica wants a complete covering of hugs. She wants affection. She wants to feel my big, strong arms around her, my manly chest up against her face so she can burrow in. She wants hugs. You know, my friend John Gray, who wrote the book Venus and Mars, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. The one line in the book that I think is the best line in the entire book is that men are microwaves, women are crockpots. Throughout the course of the day, I spend a substantial amount of my energy heating up my crock pot. I spend a substantial amount of my energy sending Erica loving and sexy text messages. They might be something as simple as "you're the best decision I ever made," but ultimately they're going to end up being, "I can't wait to rip off your clothes, lay you down, and have some dessert." That's ultimately what they're going to end up, because I want that crock pot kind of simmering all day long. So by the time she's back in my physical presence, I can start giving her some more non-sexual physical attention. A lot of times I think guys don't pour into their women enough. They don't prime the well, so to speak. They don't make sure that they're constantly reminding their woman what a great human being they are. You know, men, as we age, we think, and the world tends to think, that we become more distinguished. Women, on the other hand, as they age, have usually different programs on the aging process, which is why today on Erica's birthday and every other day, I remind my wife that she gets more beautiful every single day, which she does. Next, a woman wants open and honest communication. If I get a complaint from men, it's that she nags me. If I get a complaint from women, it's that he won't open up and talk to me. So I realize there's times when I don't want to share with Erica what's going on in my world. I don't want to burden her. Yet I also know that by not burdening, little tang tungled there, by not burdening her, I also realize that I'm setting her up to let her imagination go wild and start thinking the reason I'm being so quiet, maybe even a little bit sullen, is to do with her. So if I let her know it's got nothing to do with you, I'm dealing with work, I've got these things going on, I've got this weight, I've got this challenge, then suddenly she becomes an asset and says, hey, I can help you solve that. I get it. I get why guys don't want to give their girl grief or burden or make them have to think about the worries of the world. Guys, open and honest communication. And if you need to add, honey, this is what's going on. I don't want to burden you. I don't want you to worry about it. I want you to know I've got it. Number one, the open and honest communication will connect you better. Number two, you'll become more of a man in her eyes because now she knows what you're dealing with. There's a song by Dax and DAX and also by Hootie, by Darius Rucker. And it's called To Be a Man, What It's Like to Be a Man. I cried the first time I heard the song. I cried the 10th time I heard the song. I cried last night thinking about the song. And what the song sings about is how much men tend to want to hold on to what's going on in our world so as not to burden the people that we love. Open and honest communication. Third thing a woman wants in a relationship is attention solely on her, which, by the way, we're about to go to the vault. So if you have not yet gone to studiomoney.info/green room to get inside of the green room so that you can get on the air and ask me questions, potentially win 10 ounces of pure silver. There it is, beautiful, pure Marshall Sylver silver. If you are not in the green room right now to get on the air to potentially win the silver or potentially get the whole kit and caboodle, $5,500 up for grabs today in cash, then you need to do that. So contact studiomoney.info/green room and get on the air with me. Third thing, attention solely on her. No leaking, guys. Make sure that when that beautiful girl walks into the room, you don't bend your neck, not even thinking about it, while you watch her walk across the room while your significant other is looking at you going, what the heck? What's going on? If Erica and I walk down the beach, my bride is completely secure. She doesn't have any insecurities as far as my love or our relationship. Yet if I see a gorgeous woman walking toward us on the beach wearing a bikini and a thong, I will look at my wife, I will stare at her, and I'll pretend I didn't even notice the pretty girl. When we walk past the pretty girl, Erica will say, oh, she was pretty. And I'll say, who are you talking about? I didn't notice anybody else. And she gets a little grin on her face because she knows that I know. Fourth thing, a woman wants financial support. Makes sense, doesn't it? If we're a partnership, if Erica has attracted me and inspired me to want to produce for her, then she has surrendered and basically said, look, my life's in your hands. So she wants financial support. Give her everything she wants. If your woman isn't happy, gentlemen, ain't nobody going to be happy in your household, guaranteed. So give her everything she wants. Don't give her everything she wants if she's a gold digger. Don't do that. Give her everything she wants. And I'm going to give you this caveat. As long as she's kind. I can just imagine women watching this broadcast right now with their husbands, going back to their husband asking for something. He doesn't want to give it. She goes, well, Marshall says, give me everything I want. That's not how I said it. What I said was, as long as she's kind. Erica has a way of getting everything she wants. She just asks in such a way that I don't have the ability to say no. She's not a gold digger. She's very conscientious about the cost of things, and not only the cost in money because we're rich, but the cost of my energy, the cost of my psychic peace. And so she's really easy. In fact, the least gold diggerish human being I've ever known. Finally, last thing a woman wants in a relationship, she wants solid family values. Erica and my 3 children are my family. I have brothers and sisters that I love very much. I have cousins and nephews and nieces and other people that I am related to. My family, my core family, my nuclear family is my wife and my children. And beyond that, all those other family values are important too, except my wife wants to know he comes first, attention solely on her, top of the throat slashing order, and then the rest of the family. What that means is all of my decisions, including this one to be on this show, are based first on considering what's the impact upon them. Part of the reason I'm doing this broadcast is I'm very excited to be able to be with you 5 days a week, 2 hours a day, live. We're live, and that's the distinction. Not like other broadcasts, not like a podcast that you can listen to at your leisure. We're live, so things are going to go wrong. The internet's going to drop out. Chrome is going to drop me. Safari's not going to allow me to even broadcast on there because StreamYard won't run on Safari. Things are going to happen in a live setting, just like things happen in a relationship. The distinction, though, is understanding what are the priorities. And today, I go on record on Erica's birthday. She is my priority. Nothing more important to me in my world than Erica. My children are my next priority, then my brothers and sisters and their family, and then you, in that order. Hey, time has flown completely in this, our second episode of Marshall Sylver Live. Very excited. We're coming into my favorite part of the show, actually. In fact, if the whole show could be this next part of the show, I would have it be the whole show. In the next part of the show, I'm going to start taking your calls into the studio. If you want to talk to me live, go to studiomoney.info/green room. Let them know you want to chat with me. And because we're brand new, your odds of both winning $5,500 in cash today, or at the very least, 10 ounces of Marshall Sylver, also a $3,000 ticket to my event Turning Point, and a $15,000 ticket to my next level program are very, very high because we're brand new and we've got a limited number of guests. Speaking of guests, we got someone in the studio I'm looking forward to talking to. Stephanie, you are live and on the air. Welcome home.
Well, thanks. How are you? This is fun.
How may I serve you today?
Say that again.
How may I serve you?
Oh, yes. I have a question for you. So I am at a crossroads in my life, 56 years old, just got laid off, and I kind of am excited about it because I get to do something new, reinvent myself. And I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, so I feel like
What's your business?
Time. I was in customer experience for my full-time 9 to 5, but I now am heading into e-commerce, affiliate marketing, that kind of stuff. And so I'm very excited about just what's ahead of me. But my question today is, I know that daily habits are so important, just consistent daily habits. And so I am wondering, for you, I have a question for you as far as what is a daily habit that you do every day. And since we're talking about love and things like that, I would maybe say business and in your love life.
Everything matters. That's the first thing. Everything matters. You know, today I'm wearing a furry, sensuous top. You would call it a sweater. I'm wearing a sensuous sweater because that's the topic of the day. Everything matters. When I do my events, the first day of Turning Point, I wear a suit that has a purple hue in it. So it might be a pinstripe suit that has light purple stripes. It might be a full suit that's the color of purple, but I wear purple. It's number one, my favorite color, clearly. Mm-hmm. Also, though, it's the color of healing, and it's also the color of royalty. So purple is a very powerful color because of all of those reasons and what it means on a subconscious basis. The second day of Turning Point, I wear a green suit, the color of money. Because the second day, after I've helped people heal and I've helped them create the security they need, their essence, then on the next day, I want to help them move toward the extras, all the extras. And money does cure most things. Mm-hmm. So everything matters. And one of the first things that matters that most people don't realize matters the most is your day is likely going to go how the first 2 minutes of your day goes. And so I have a habit. I've had this habit for over 40 years. When I wake up in the morning, I don't usually use an alarm. In fact, I rarely use an alarm, usually only as a safety backup. I tell myself before I sleep, I'm going to wake up at a predetermined time. I usually wake up a few minutes before that time every single day. And when I wake up and I get out of bed, I don't lay in bed. I don't hit the snooze. I don't spend a lot of time staying in bed. The moment I'm awake and I realize I'm aware, I turn to the side, I clap my hands together, and I say, what a glorious day filled with love, health, opportunity, and potential. And the reason I start my day off that way is it's way better than starting your day off saying, it sucks. Oh, geez. Oh, man, another day. What that does is, since what we focus on expands, it immediately makes me start looking for a glorious day filled with love, health, opportunity, and potential. I start looking for it. And since we find what we're looking for, it happens. Next, write this down. Worst things first. In the course of your life, you got all sorts of things to deal with. One of the first things you want to do is take care of the things that are the worst things. And here's why. If they're the worst things, you're going to put them off. If you put them off, you're going to run out of time. If you run out of time, they're not going to get done. Not only that, your entire day is going to be filled with angst because you're worried about the thing you need to do. It might be making cold calls. It might be, calling somebody about a topic you find difficult to speak with. It might be, putting yourself in a position to make a major presentation, launching a brand new website that the moment you launch that e-commerce page, then you immediately know whether or not the results are there. And sometimes people won't do things because on a subconscious level, they think they're going to fail. So I might not write my book. I have a book inside of me. I might not write the book. And I might not even know why I'm not writing the book, except there's a secret fear on a subconscious basis. What if I write the book and then nobody cares? What if you write the book and everybody cares? What if you write the book and you J.K. Rowling it and become one of the most successful publishers of all time? And so what I say, and I was thinking about this a lot. I was in the spa last night and it was late. It was probably, 10 o'clock. And I could see the waves breaking in the ocean, and the spa was about 106 degrees, right where I like it. And I was sitting in the spa, and the thing that kept occurring to me, I've got an opportunity to take over a commercial space, 30,000 square feet, a little more than I wanted. Yet I also know I'm old, and I don't like saying that, and I don't want to acknowledge it. Yet being in denial won't make it any better. I'm 61. And while I still feel awesome and I feel young and I have great energy and I got at least 20 more years of powerful career ahead of me, I'm old. And, and we're in our prime, as you know. You look to be like, what, 35?
I'm 56.
Well, you look amazing.
Thank you.
You know that we reinvent ourselves about every 10 years. About every 10 years, we say, you know what, I'd like to do something different. You had a great secure job. I'm sure you liked it. You were there for a while. You were in charge of customer experience. And so you probably are really, really, really good with people. Except the challenge was you were completely and totally confined. You couldn't make any more money. You were stuck at whatever they wanted to do for you. And you're better than that.
That's right.
I will tell you, your challenge is this complete reinvention you're going through is going to be hard. You're going to want to quit. You're not going to want to complete what you're doing. You're going to be reminded, I had a secured check. What the heck was I thinking? Who the heck did I think I was? Stay with it. Guarantee you. I promise you, stay with it. I remember back when I became a hypnotist, my first few bookings as a hypnotic entertainer, I would be at a nightclub and I would be in, not the dressing room, because they didn't have a dressing room. What they had was a mop closet. I would be on my knees on the ground in the mop closet, praying to God that I would have enough people to do a show. I would say, God, please just let enough people come here to do a show. More than once, enough people didn't show up. So I had to go out into the audience, Stephanie, and I had to hypnotize everybody. I moved their watches forward 90 minutes. I sprinkled them with a little bit of booze. I brought them out of trance, made them think they saw a good show. So back to your advice, though. What do I advise? Number one, wake up with the right frame. Number two, worst things first. Make sure you prioritize your day. Make sure you're focused on what I call income generating activities, IGAs. When you start asking yourself, does this thing really make me money? You'll start making more money. You also have to ask yourself repeatedly throughout the course of the day, and this is everybody, every last one of you, including Stephanie and everybody else. You got to ask yourself, is this task beneath my pay grade? What do I mean by that? Is this something that I should quit doing? Is this something I should farm out to other people? And is this something that when I farm it out to other people, I can forget about it and it gets done? It may not get done quite as well as if I did it, yet if it gets done half as well as I did it and I hired two people to do it, guess what? I'm even. And I think that's the biggest challenge people think when they go into business is they think, I need to do this. I don't have the money. And they don't realize doing those things that are beneath their pay grade are actually what's costing them money, not making them money. You got to free yourself up. And then the final thing I will tell you, worst things first, prioritize your day, focus on income generating activities. The final thing I will tell you that you need to do on a regular basis as you're launching your brand new business is you want to take a look and find strategic alliances. What is that? It's a customer with customers. When you're doing business, like as an example, this broadcast is a good example. We're still in beta. This is day 2 of the broadcast. We are number 5 on the charts in investing on the Apple podcast chart. I'm thrilled that we did that in one day. Doesn't mean a whole lot to me because we just got started. But the fact of the matter is, as we launch this, once we've worked through all of the bugs, and I know the broadcast is going out without a hitch, then I will go out and I will look for strategic alliance relationships. Customers with customers, people that have massive databases that they can say, yeah, I like Marshall. I like what he teaches. I like, how he frames people and makes them better versions of themselves. I would love to send people to your broadcast, Marshall. It's free. In addition, when people send people to my broadcast through the affiliate link that they can get by going to studiomoney.info/contest, when they go to studiomoney.info/contest, you will get an affiliate link emailed to you that when you send that affiliate link out to anybody else and they log on to the show, you'll get credit for them logging onto the show because the show's free. You won't make any money. But if they buy anything from me, like Turning Point for $3,000, like Next Level for $15,000, like Inner Circle for $70,000, you'll make 30% commission on every last one of those people. So this broadcast can end up changing the economy by helping you also make money. In fact, if you've got e-commerce pages that you're already putting up, my recommendation is that you put the link for this broadcast on your e-commerce page. So at the very least, if they don't make a purchase from you, they find the link, they come on the broadcast, they're coded to you, and it becomes an additional revenue stream to you.
I love that.
I love it too. Hey, you know what? You're the first call today, and I'm feeling extra frisky because it's Juicy Tuesday. Stephanie, where do you live?
Lehigh, Utah.
Lovely. And
Yeah.
have you been to Turning Point?
No, I haven't.
Lovely. How did you find out about me?
Well, do you know Christian Jensen?
I love Christian.
He's my buddy. I love him too. He and his
Christian
wife,
and Linda have
Linda.
been friends of mine for a very long time. They're brilliant
Aw.
human beings,
Mhm.
and I'm grateful for them. So here's the deal. I'm going to gift you Turning Point.
Awesome.
In
That's
fact, I'm going to
awesome.
give you 2 tickets to Turning Point. Are
Okay.
you married?
I am.
Lovely. I want you and your husband to come.
Okay.
It's a short trip from Utah down to
Yeah.
Las Vegas. I want you guys to come in March to Turning Point. I'm going to give you 2 $3,000 tickets. I'm also, because you're the one on the air, I'm going to give you, and I don't do this to everybody, I'm going to give you a $15,000 ticket
my
to
gosh.
my program called The Next Level.
Oh my gosh.
And I'll tell you why. You networked with Christian. You interacted with him. He recommended this show. You said, you know what? I'm going to go check it out. You checked out the show. You liked what I said. You realize I'm not for everybody, and I know I'm not. Some of my opinions are certainly resisted by people.
I
But you
like
said, I'm
your
going to listen.
opinions.
Pardon?
I like your opinions. I think we're very much aligned as far as some of the things that you say. So
We're going to find out. I think my opinions are aligned. I think that the majority of the population,
Mhm.
like you and like me, we're conservative. We
Mhm.
believe in family. We
Yes.
believe there are 2 genders. We
Yes.
believe the election was stolen. We
Yes.
believe all the above.
Mhm.
And yet, part of the challenge is we're not able to really talk about it. In fact, I forgot to go into the vault, so I'm still on all mainstream media. I pray I don't get canceled on my second day. But the reason that I'm giving you 2 tickets to Turning Point, 1 ticket to Next Level, is you extended yourself. You jumped. One of the last lessons I want to teach you on this call is that first to market always has an advantage. The ability to move quickly, to make decisions quickly
Mhm.
is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. So if nothing else on this broadcast, I want all of you to ask better questions of yourself and to do the worst things first today. And you're in line right now. You could potentially, Stephanie, win 10 ounces of pure silver on top of the $21,000 worth of gifts I've already given you. So I'm so glad you're with me. I look forward to seeing you at Turning Point in March, meeting you and your husband both. Until then, make it an awesome day.
Thank you so much. So
You're-
what a pleasure to be on here with you.
You are
Thanks.
totally loved.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Aren't people awesome? I mean, we really are unique human beings. And, I think that so many times people don't do what they want to do because they're afraid they're going to fail. I also know that should you fail, you'll get feedback. And should you fail, you'll get information that when you go back to the table will be better. We did a broadcast 11 years ago, 2013. And the broadcast very quickly ramped up to tens of thousands of people on the air every single day. And the reason it ramped up so very quickly is I was giving away lots of cash. We gave away $350,000 on the previous broadcast. And we also were paying people, just like we are right now, to refer other people to the show. So, going to take another call here in the vault. Blakester, Robert Blakely, you are live on the air. Welcome home.
Hello, my brother. How are you?
I am always awesome. How are you?
I'm doing super good and getting better by the second, especially now that I'm on your show.
Yeah, you not only have a perfect haircut,
Yeah.
you have a perfect set of training CDs behind you. Yeah.
Amen.
Irresistible Influence. Good stuff.
Yes, yes.
Robert, where are you
Vegas.
calling in from?
I'm calling in from Sinton, Texas. Sinton, Texas.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You're a marketer. You're in the insurance business, right?
No, I teach sales psychology and also in network marketing.
Awesome.
We met
What's your
in
question
Vegas
today?
at your turning point in Vegas.
Of course, I remember you and your lady.
Yes.
So what's your question today?
Well, try not to get too deep, but I had a business partner that I ran across a little over a year ago, prior military veteran like myself, who we became very close friends, almost like best friends. He recently passed away in December, sadly, and it's been very challenging for me to even sit down and even think business. You know what I mean? Especially with it being so fresh. So I was just asking, is there anything that you can think of that might help like get past that? And you know what I'm saying? Like it's been
do.
challenging, brother. It's like I'll sit down at the desk and he's not there anymore. You know, we would have those daily conversations. We would network. What are we going to do for our teams? And now he's just not there. And it's like, oh, it's hard for me to be motivated, you know?
I get it.
Any tips?
I had a radio show in Vegas many years ago, and I was on for 2 hours a night, 5 nights a week. And it was a very similar show to this show that, people would call in, they would ask me questions, and I would give them advice about sex, money, and power. And there was a guy that was a friend of mine, and he was the bartender at a local wine bar. And I would go in there and I would chat with him. And when I would talk to the guy, he went by Stick. He went by Stick. Hey, my name's Stick. And when I would talk to the guy, the only thing he would talk about the entire time we were there, his topic was always his dad. Loved his dad. He was probably, Stick was probably 35 years old, and he would talk about his dad and how great their relationship was. And I hadn't gone to the wine bar for a while. I went in one evening, and he's not there. And I asked the bartender, I said, where's Stick? He said, oh, he hasn't worked here for a couple of months. And I said, what's going on? He said, his dad died. My heart sank because I knew how important his father was to him. I know how important a father is in general, but to Stick, a father was everything. And Stick, one night I'm on the air and I get a call. And the guy says, hi, Marshall, it's Stick. I said, hey, Stick, how you doing? He said, not so good. And I could tell that his voice was completely zapped, kind of like yours is a little zapped. And I said, what's going on? He said, I miss my dad. He said, can you hypnotize me to get over this grief? And I said, I can. And I said, I need to warn you, though. And I can do it right now, Robert. I can hypnotize you to overcome the grief you're feeling about your friend. What was your friend's name?
Brett Sipe.
Brett. So not only was he your friend, he was your partner. And like a marriage in many ways, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because that's what a partnership is like.
Yeah. He was
And
one of
Brett-
my best students as well.
So is it Brett or Brent?
Bretttsipe.
Brett.
Brett Sipe. Yeah.
So I told Stick, I said, I can remove your grief. And I could remove your grief right now for Brett, Robert. Gone. You want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay. I want to forewarn you. If I the reason you're feeling grief is you miss him. And if he was evil and mean and nasty and rotten, you wouldn't miss him at all.
No.
The reason you miss Brett is Brett was your life. He was a part of you. He was a part of your soul. And every day when you sit down at your desk and you look over and he's not there, you're reminded part of your soul is gone. So I can heal that instantly. I've done it many, many times. But I will tell you, when I heal it, I am also going to instantly remove all of your memories of Brett forever, as if he never existed. You won't feel any grief. You just won't remember. Do I have permission to go in and clear your brain about Brett?
I'm not sure you could do that, but sure.
Yeah, I can do
I've
that.
got
I
a
want you to
lot of
listen carefully.
videos. That's why.
It doesn't matter. No, you
Yes,
won't have the same
yes,
impact on you.
yes,
But here's the challenge. Not
yes.
only will I erase all the memories, and if you see a video, you'll look at the video and you'll say, I remember that guy, but you won't have the same emotions toward him. But here's the challenge. All the good stuff is gone. Completely gone. All the life lessons your friend taught you, gone. Everything about them, gone.
Yeah.
My mother died on Memorial Day of 2013. I loved my mother. She died at 85 years old. She had a decent life. Certainly wasn't cut short in her teen years. She lived to be 85. My mother was one of the kindest human beings I've ever known in my entire life. And she died. And I miss her every single day. And I'm glad I miss her. My father died as well many years ago. And I loved my dad. I just never had a good relationship with him. And so I don't miss him to the same degree. Not even close. Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I doubt that you would want me to remove your memories of Brett. I think
Yeah.
you like them, and I see your face. You love them. He brought you joy.
I love
just
what
you
you
miss
did
him.
there.
And so the last question I have for you is Brett sitting on a cloud, laughing with God, looking down at the Blakester, and he wants to say something to you. God says, yes, I'm going to give you, Brett, permission to say something to the Blakester right now. What do you suppose Brett would say to you?
He would say, he misses me.
Yeah. What advice would he give you?
The show
You can
must
say it in
go
his
on.
words too, by the way. Say it in his words.
Well, they were my words, but the words are the show must go on.
Yeah. Did he
Thank
love you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his wife told me the other day, she was like, he loved you so much.
Yeah. You know why?
What's that?
You know why he loved you? You're easy to love. No, that's why.
I've been told that.
You're
Yeah.
easy to love. And so I'll tell you what Brett would say to you. You're right. He'd say the show must go on and life is for the living. And while I'm grateful, Robert, that you love me so much, that you miss me every single day, I'm grateful for that. I also don't want that for you because I love you, because you were my best friend. What I want you to celebrate life. I want every thought you have about me to be joyful. I want you to live every day not looking at an empty chair. I want you to see me in the chair. And I want you to ask yourself, when you're challenged, what would Brett do right now?
Yeah.
How would he have handled this circumstance? Because he had certain skills and personality traits that you don't have, and vice versa. And that's why you guys were great friends. You were good for each other.
Yeah.
I want you to know, I've always liked you. From the moment we met, I've always liked you. I've always thought you were phenomenal energy. And I see a whole bunch of people saying you are loved, because you are. And I want you to know that grief is intentional and that life is for the living. And one of the reasons that I hug my children every single day when I leave, without exception, I can be going down to the 7-Eleven and I will hug my kids. I will hug my wife. I will tell them how much I love them before I walk out the door, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know when the last time you're going to talk to somebody is.
Yeah.
You never know when the last time you're going to hug somebody or kiss somebody or hold somebody is. And so I want that to be the lesson of the day. It's a phenomenal lesson for everybody. Make sure all of your interactions are as good as they can possibly be. Make sure go ahead.
To add to that, you're very right, brother, because he went in for a kidney stone removal and never came out. It's
Yeah.
like you just never know. Like you say, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring.
No,
As
we
far
don't.
as that is,
And there are people I don't like. I also do my very best to at least be fair with people.
right.
And even though I might not like people short term, I do have a love for everybody. And I do believe even
Amen.
evil people are doing the best they can with what they have.
I understand that.
Yep. And,
Yeah.
and so everything happens for a reason and it serves us.
Yeah.
When my mother died, and years ago, what set me on the path that I'm on right now, when my niece died of a heroin overdose, I said, especially when Lelania passed, I'm going to live my life in devotion to other people. I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to pray that some Lelania hears my message, that somebody who's going through similar things can say, you know what, I was inspired. We had somebody on the show yesterday told me that I saved them from suicide. It means everything to me.
Amen.
Beyond any private jet or palace in the desert or house on the beach, all of that's meaningless compared to what that guy told me yesterday.
Right.
You are the highlight of my day today, and I'm gonna go on record. We're only halfway through the vault, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And if I get inspired to do it again, I'll do it again. But that question was so important. There's so many people, Robert, that are hurting. There are so many people that are struggling with losses of somebody they loved. COVID happened and a whole lot of people died, and a whole lot of people are still dying. That I want you to know, grief is okay. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with us, and it doesn't mean that we shouldn't feel it. Pain means pay attention. Grief means make sure you live in the present moment. Make sure that you are in Satori, not the past, that's depression, not the future, that's anxiety. Make sure you're living in the present moment. So, Robert, you still with me?
Thank you. Thank you.
Gift for you. Yep. The gift is I'm going to give you 10 ounces of pure silver.
Oh my God.
Yeah, how cool is that? 10 ounces of pure silver. I may give away
Super
more
cool.
today. I'm feeling extra generous. I love people to jump into the green room, but I want you to know that I'm going to give you 10 ounces of pure silver, but I'm going to give you a caveat. Here's the caveat.
Sure.
You and the wife have to come to Turning Point to pick it up.
Okay.
Come back.
In Vegas?
Yeah, in March in Vegas.
March? Okay. Well,
Yep,
I
figure it
normally
out.
go to Vegas in July.
Yeah, this is not about being normal, though. This is about being
No.
extraordinary.
Got
So
you.
the deal's real simple. I'm going to give you 10 ounces of silver when you see me in person in March at the Turning Point.
Okay.
I'll see you and your bride there.
All right.
You are loved, brother. Keep up the great
Thank
work.
you,
God
brother.
bless.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. It's a great day, and I got time for just a couple more questions. So make sure that if you want to get on the air with me, you go to studiomoney.info/green room. I see we got a whole bunch of people lining up in the green room ready to come on the air. I find that topic of grief to be a very sensitive one. I told you yesterday on the show, my father and I never had a relationship. He contacted me 2 weeks before he passed to tell me what a horrible father he had been and how much he loved me and how he wished things had been different between us. So somewhere in his subconscious mind, in his soul, he knew that he was going to die. My mom, I knew she was going to die. She had had a lot of challenges, health challenges prior to passing, and nothing prepares us for the passing of somebody. And the worst kind of passing is somebody that passes suddenly and completely unexpectedly. Somebody that's fairly young, somebody that goes in for some routine thing. Like I said, we were talking yesterday about the passing of Toby Keith. I mentioned that, Toby had on his website that he had been vaxxed, and they took that off the website after the fact. And I'm sure I know why they took it off, because they didn't want anybody asking, did he die because he was vaxxed? Doesn't matter why he died, he died. And I also just want to let you know that we're in a time right now, unfortunately, things have happened where we're going to see people passing. We saw it recently. We saw, over the period of time that professional athletes were dropping dead, completely young people dying of heart attacks. We're going to see that. We're going to see that. So I am reminded every single day that I am blessed to be alive today and that I'm old and I need to get busy. And so do you. Let's go back to the phones and let me see. Who do we got coming up next? Go ahead. Pop in a guest for me and surprise me. Thomas, welcome, brother. So I cannot hear you. Go ahead and bring up your.
You're right.
go.
Haven't seen you since Turning Point some time back, but you're looking great, brother.
Thank you, brother. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling grateful.
Oh, yeah. Any day on this side of the dirt, right?
Absolutely. Where are you calling in from?
Moody, Alabama.
Love it.
So right by Birmingham, on the way to Atlanta. So
the largest house in Alabama. You know the house I'm talking about? It was built for a musician.
Yes.
The guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big guitar. It looks like a guitar. The fountain in the front of the house, the driveway coming up the front, all the bushes. It looks like a giant guitar. It was built for, I forget who.
I can't remember who it was built for either. I know it sold pretty recently, though. It had been owned by like one person.
It's a nice house.
Were you? Oh yeah, I was looking at it too. You know, I can't afford it yet. That $1 billion hasn't been deposited into my bank account yet, but it's on the way.
A good student you are, says Yoda. What is an entrepreneur?
That is a term that my wife and I kind of invented and coined and phrased. We're entrepreneurs, but we focus on everything that has to do with like health and wellness and spirituality and strengthening the energy body. You know, your spiritual energy body is very much connected to your physical body, and your spiritual health is connected to your physical health. And so, entrepreneur was where we started, but now we're focusing on, just everything kind of having to do with that. And but it's been a long time coming to get from where we were and to where we are now and everything like that.
Awesome.
So I'm glad you. So my question, we're entrepreneur thing, and we're wanting to do public speaking, and we have done, Alabama is big for churches, and so we've spoken at multiple churches, and I've been doing sales and doing kind of one-on-one sales training, but we're both very interested in getting hooked up to do public speaking, like all over the place. We want it to be our full-time thing, and we basically have hit this wall of free gigs in churches and stuff like that, and we have a great message to share, everything from our past to everything that we've learned from you and all the other people that we've studied over the years, and we've got a lot of value that we can add to people's lives. And I just was wondering if you where I could find a manager to book us gigs, or where I could get started on that path. Because I have a degree, in theater and everything, and public speaking is it comes very natural to me and my wife, and I've heard you talk about it for a couple of years now, and now I'm doing I do sales right now. Primarily I do door-to-door sales, so I go into a stranger's home and become best friends with them and get them to buy $50,000 worth of windows and whatnot. So that's great, and it's great money. But I've heard you say more than once to people that people that make even more than me. You told a guy that made $300,000 a year, you're like, you need to quit your job and focus on what you really want to focus on. And so that's the thing. Yesterday you set a goal, set a date, and we definitely had a date already. It was great to hear you say that. So we're looking at basically a year from now or sooner that we'd like to be full-time doing public speaking and things like that.
Good. I remember early on in my entertainment career, I watched David Copperfield, and he had had great success, and I had become friends with David's general manager at the time. And I would call up the general manager and I'd say, who is David's agent? And he would give me the name of the agent, and I would pick up the phone and I'd cold call the agent and I'd say, hey, you got to represent me. You're going to love me. And then I would say, who was his show producer, who produced his specials? Hey there, good to see you. Glad both of you are here on this day of love. And I would contact his manager or his agent or his attorney or whoever. Finally, one day I called up Chris, his manager, his general manager, and I asked for the name of somebody that was David's team. And he said, I'll give you the name of that person, but you need to know something, Marshall. Nobody made David Copperfield except for David Copperfield. And it was in that moment that it sunk into me, you are not ready for an agent. And I'll tell you why. It's not because you don't have the talent. Clearly, you have the talent and you have the ability. You carry yourself well. You speak well. You have all those. The challenge with a manager or an agent is you've got to agent your agent. You got to manage your manager. And until you know how to get the stuff done that they're going to have to get done, you won't know how to also manage them. So I'm going to redirect your question. I'm going to give you a different question, and you see how it sits with you, because it's a better question. The better question is, you want an agent because you want bookings. Correct?
Correct.
So you want bookings. You sound as if are you guys Christians?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why you started in that market. You know, it'd be unusual for you to be speaking in Christian markets if you yourself weren't Christian. So you're Christian. Here's the challenge with that, and frankly, any kind of religious market, is unless you are ready for a long-term play, short-term, it's going to be hard to survive. Dave Ramsey built his entire business on working with churches. And what his whole business model is he goes into a church in a given geographic and he says, look, we'd like to bring my seminar to this area, and we'd like you to invite your entire congregation. And when your congregation comes to my event, we'll pay you an affiliate commission. Sound familiar? It's exactly the model that we're doing right here. And so what you want to do is identify your avatar, say, these are the types of people I want to talk to. You mentioned your brand speaks to health. It speaks to fitness.
Right.
The challenge with health and fitness is, as much as they don't seem like they should be, they are soft topics. Nobody is concerned about their health until their health is threatened.
Right.
So the first thing we've got to do is figure out a way to make a soft topic a hard topic. How do we show people the dollar value of bad health? How do we show them the relational sacrifices of an unhealthy, unattractive body? How do we help them, because they've got to do it, how do we help them put a dollar amount on the thing that they want from us so that they will stay with us and invest with us? So first and foremost, you've got to ponder, and you're going to spend the rest of the day, both of you, thinking about how do we get them, because that's the key. How do we get them to put a price tag on it? And I'll give you an example of how I do it, because personal development is a soft topic. Making money is a hard topic. You hand me $5,000, I show you how to make 10 grand. You say, okay, easy math, hard topic. Yeah. If you hand me $5,000 and I say, oh, you're going to have a better relationship, you're going to say, my relationship's already great, Marshall. How could it be any better?
Well, that's why I was leaning more towards like sales training, honestly, but ethical sales training, you know, like, I mean, like what you do and everything like that. But, you know, I had parents that were salespeople, you know, my whole life, they've been salespeople. I was raised, you know, anytime I wanted something, I had to come up with a pitch for it, you know, my whole life. And I've studied you, as you can tell, and, you know, everybody else. I don't need to name drop on your show. But you're, you know, I'm clearly here listening to you because you have, you know, the best material of anybody I've seen. So
he always has good shades on. Shades. He always has good shades on.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. That is very true.
I mean, what about you know, a sales training thing, or are you about to tell me to sell your sales training?
Yes, I'm encouraged that you said that, because I would agree that health is a really great thing. There was a guy, and you should research this man. His name was Charles Gibbons. And Charles Gibbons was a personal development speaker from the 1980s. He had a really hard time making his career go. He wrote a book called Wealth Without Risk. And the book was all about making money. The book launched him. He'd had other books. He'd had other business, other seminars prior. But the book launched him. Because what it did was it brought people in on a hard topic. So if I bring people into what we do on a hard topic, here's how you make money. And money, by the way, is the easiest area of our lives. It's the easiest area of our lives, except it is a vault door. And I'll tell you why it's a vault door. You got to dial that dial. You got to figure out what it is that makes us money. What's the offer I make to the marketplace that they respond to? What's the frame? What's the positioning of what I'm offering that makes it appeal, where people will vote with their wallets? What does that mean? They give you money. You know, somebody can say, oh my God, I love your material. The two of you are the best speakers ever. You guys are amazing. But if they don't give you a credit card number, guess what? They didn't vote for you. So first and foremost, we got to figure out, how do we turn our topic into a hard topic? Yes, sales is a hard topic. The fact that you love sales says everything. That's everything. I mean, I love sales. You watch me sell. You watch me crush from the stage. Nothing, besides my wife, is more exciting to me than watching a whole bunch of people run to the back of the room, throw down their credit card, and sign up for my programs. Nothing excites me more, because what that means is I communicated well. That said, you have something to ponder. And the thing I would ponder if it were me is, you said it, non-salesy sales. You want to sell from an ethical position. You want to do sales and influence for the devout Christian. That's the message. That's where you're coming from. Selling via biblical principles is another one. We've got somebody inside of our inner circle. His name is David Newby. And what he's done is he's taken all the lessons of Solomon, the wealthiest person in history. He's taken all the lessons of Solomon and he teaches that to the regular public, to the non-Christian public. And he's done extremely well with that. Second thing, I want you to take a note. I want you to write this down. You need to focus on 3 particular talks inside of your curriculum. You need to focus on, number 1, what's your preview talk? What is the 60 to 90 minute presentation that you can give at other people's events, on webinars? You can go on other people's podcasts and give an outline of it. What is the preview talk that causes people to be interested in you and your content? So the first thing I want you to create is a preview talk. Okay. The second thing I want you to create, and this is for anybody that wants to be a speaker, by the way, wants to have a coaching business, wants to know anything about it. We have 2 programs for speakers and coaches. We have our speaker training program called Crush It from the Platform. We also have a remote course that people can take called MVP. And this would probably be an ideal one because the 2 of you can take it together for one investment. Massive volume presentations teaches you how do you craft your preview. It's going to teach you how to craft the second talk that you need, and that is your fulfillment. What is the foundational program? And when you attend MVP, you'll learn that foundational program should be 2.5 days, 2.5 days. And it should be 2 full days followed by a half day. And the reason it's 2 full days followed by a half day and not a Friday night half day followed by 2 full days, Saturday, Sunday, the reason it's 2 full days followed by a half day on Sunday, as an example, is people tend to schedule their live events around their flights. They don't schedule their flights around their live events. So they book their flight and then they book out of the training early to get to their flight. So I found if I did Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, much of my audience was leaving on Sunday afternoon anyway. But what happens when I do all day Friday, they schedule the time to be there. If I do all day Saturday, it's the middle of the event, they're going to be there. And then Sunday, even if they leave a little early, it's okay because it's a short day for me. But here's the biggest thing that it does. It bumps our sales a full 30% to 40% based on people not wanting to leave the ether. Based on people saying, oh my God, I love this so much. I want to stay here with you. And so they talk to each other after the event's over. They interact. You've been to Turning Point, you know. And we pick up 30 to 40% additional sales in that period because they just don't want to leave the magic. That makes sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
4. Good for you.
4.
Good
on you. 3 boys and 1 girl, age 6. The girl's the baby. She's 9 months old. And then I've got a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-year-old. So.
Oh, good for you. So the daughter was
nothing. And nothing makes you more successful than children. It's crazy how they'll tell you that you're going to be a complete failure having like kids or something because they're like this big burden. It's like the greatest blessing in the world. You know, now we have 4 and I have something to work for. And it's just like life is just so much more exciting and fulfilling. It's wonderful. So
100% agree. Yeah.
We swore we would never have children. That's the first date we had. We agreed we would never have children.
Children in there.
Ever.
We have 4. So it's pretty awesome.
Then you did the dirty and they just wouldn't stop.
I know. I went to the doctor. I'm like, I can't stop having kids. And he's like, you know how you have kids, right? And I was like, I went to public school. I have no idea. And he explained that whole thing to me. And I was like, well, I can't stop doing that. I'm gonna never stop having kids. And he's like, help you with that. So
Yeah, one snip.
One
I
snip.
had
Well,
the same
two.
challenge. Unfortunately, our babies were born at home in the bathtub with no pain, no doctors, no
Ours
challenge.
too.
So yes,
The
and
last
that's
two
the
were.
challenge.
Yeah.
That's the challenge. If it's painless, guess what? Your wife will want to keep dropping kids.
Yeah.
And by the look on your wife's face, I can tell she liked being pregnant. She liked giving birth to babies. My wife loved being pregnant. My mother loved being pregnant. That's why she birthed 11 kids. She just loved having babies. And I would agree with you, Thomas, that my children are the biggest inspiration I have ever had in my entire life. Anybody that tells you kids are work aren't doing parenting the way that it can be. Anybody that does not see them as an inspiration, that feels that they're a burden, I get it. I understand how people could feel that way. And yes, they are extra effort. Yes, there is juggling. Yes, you got to squeeze in that intimate time wherever you can find it. Yes, there are moments where you guys share a breakfast and the kids aren't there and it feels like heaven to you. And my children are the greatest accomplishments of my life. So you guys are awesome.
Amen.
I'm looking forward. When are you coming back to Turning Point?
Shoot.
Turning Point. Well, I know I'm going to Next Level in November, but we have not set a Turning Point date.
We have not.
Well, you guys should come back.
We
have peak in March, and then we've got a few things. So when's the next Turning Point? It's in March, right?
Yeah, the next one's coming up in March. It's the 11th
Okay.
through the 13th. 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
So you guys figure out how to clear your calendar. And also, I want you to talk to Luke on my team about our speaker training programs, because that's what you asked for. And by the way, the third program, I said, number one, your preview. Number two, your fulfillment. The third thing you want to create is what's called your ascension. It's your back end. It's your big ticket back end, or multiple big tickets of back end. Your preview is designed to introduce yourself. Your fulfillment, our Turning Point in this example, your fulfillment is designed to give phenomenal value and content in a way that inspires them, but not so much that they feel full, kind of like Turning Point. And then where all of your profits are, where the basis of your business is in the margins. And the basis of your business is in your ascension or your back end high ticket offers. So I want you to solve all of those. Do you have a foundational program currently?
More or less, yeah. I have a sales training program that I've developed from collecting everybody else's.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. What's it called? It's called Center Lane Sales. Okay. Sales, like driving in the center lane. You can collect information and you can qualify in one lane or the other. But like a 3-lane highway, eventually those lanes are going to exit, and you can only close the deal from the center lane. You know what I mean? If you're talking about the price of tea in China over here, and you're not talking about the sale, and you're not going to close the sale. That's why, just like from the stage, you buy now. You've seen that I'm a smart guy and I'm very capable. And buy now. You see that my product's going to help you. Go to the back of the room. Buy now. I love it. It's brilliant.
Is it bright or is it shades?
What?
Is the secret word bright or is it shades?
Oh, you're so funny.
Good job, though. Good job.
Really?
Oh, my God. See, that's why I love the women. The women are GTFM. Get the freaking money, baby. Make sure you say it.
The line goes, right? I want to talk to the man in charge and the woman who knows what's going on.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you guys are awesome. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks for calling in. And by all means, talk to Luke about our other programs to teach you as a speaker. It's going to cut years off the process. And because you are who you are, and the two of you already have the talent that you have, it's going to instantaneously give you a massive return on investment. So talk to Luke about MVP.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
awesome, brother. God bless.
Be blessed.
You're blessed.
God bless.
Take care. Bye for now. People are awesome. Yes, absolutely awesome. My life is blessed. This is day 2, and we're already number 5 on the rating charts for Apple Podcasts Inside of Investing. All thanks to you. Make sure you tell people about this show. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 2 hours a day. The Blakester already won 10 ounces of pure silver from me. I have given away now 40 ounces of pure silver on this show. We've given away $350,000 plus on our broadcasts, and I'm attempting to give away $5,500 just now. Thomas and his bride asked, is the word sun, or asked, is the word sunlight? Good guess. I got time for one more call. Lori Lee, you are live on the air. Marshall Sylver Live. Welcome home.
Hello.
Don't you look
Happy
beautiful?
New Year. Oh, thank you.
Lori, where are you calling us from?
I'm in Ontario, Canada, about an hour and a half north of Toronto.
Lovely. Are you friends with Annie and Adam?
I do not know Annie and Adam.
Annie and Adam are Inner Circle members, and they're up in Toronto. Are you in? You said Toronto?
Yep, about an hour and a half north.
How'd you find out about me?
Actually through a real estate conference. Oh gosh, a few years back. In
Real
Toronto.
Estate Wealth Expo.
Yes. And
Wow.
you were there.
How awesome! That's great. So great to see old friends.
Yes.
So what are you working on?
Well, I've actually just become involved in network marketing. Can I say the company or what it's about?
Please.
Okay. It's called Embody. It's mental health wellness, which I like the demographics because, I mean, absolutely everybody can benefit from that. It's not just target hold to, a certain, like I said, demographic. I'm a little out of my element and I need some help. And I figure who better to come to than the expert on everything.
I love you so much. You're amazing. And I want to compliment you on your courage to do something different, do something new. And I want to give you some insights that are going to help you.
Thank you.
I'm not aware of Amare. When I get off the air today, I'm going to do a Google search and take a look and see what it's all about.
Okay.
You said something though. You said, the product has to do with mental health and
Yes.
wellness. And that was what was important to you. So you also said everybody needs this. I would agree. If we don't have mental health, we don't have a life.
Correct.
If our mind isn't clear, everything is difficult. And so that's the reason I tell people we've got 4 areas of balance in our lives, and they've got to be approached in this order. First and foremost, we've got to take charge of our mental health. If we don't have our mental health, we won't take charge of the other 3. Not possible. So first and foremost, our entire life revolves around us taking complete and total responsibility for what's going on inside of our mind. Number 2, second area that we've got to take charge of is our physical health. If we do not have our physical health, we don't have anything. We could have the best relationship in the world. We could have billions and trillions of dollars, and it doesn't matter if we don't have our health. So first, mental health. Next, physical health. Third area of our life that we need to focus on is our relationships. We've got to be sure that we are putting out into the universe communication that inspires our relationships to be healthy, fulfilled, and want to stay connected to us. And then the fourth area of our life is our finances, our money. That said, you said, can I give you some insight? You're kind of out of your element. So here's the first insight I want to give you, and it's a mindset. And the mindset is this. When you believe in what you're selling, you have a moral and ethical obligation to sell it. So first and foremost, I want you to take on the idea that you are not selling anybody anything. You are doing them a major favor by telling them all about Amare. And then, so when you approach them, you don't feel like you're putting them off or trying to get them involved with, some pyramid scheme thing. You're saying, no, these products are life-changing. And the reason I'm sharing these products with you is they changed my life. And because I love you and I care about you, I wanted to at least put this in front of you for your consideration. Oh, is this one of those pyramid things? If you're asking, is this a multi-level marketing opportunity? Yes, it is. And the reason it's a multi-level marketing opportunity is it gives us a chance to put the products that we believe in into your hands at the lowest possible price and give you the biggest possible advantage when you're consuming these products. And because of the structure of the company, it also gives you an opportunity to get the product totally free and maybe even make some money on the side. That's all you got to say. So never shy away from the truth. If somebody says, are you just trying to sell me something? You say, absolutely, I like you. I care about you. Yeah, I'm here to sell you something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your mind or your mental health. What I'm saying is everybody benefits from peace of mind. And I'd like to help you get some peace of mind. And so I might change the semantics about mental health or even mental wellness. And I might use phrases like peace of mind, optimize your mental effectiveness, allows you to streamline and own your thought process. I would figure out a way to take any of those phrases, such as mental health or wellness, and reframe them in an empowering way. And then finally, as a person of influence, I would, if I were you, let people know, I made a list of people that I cared about most, and you were at the top of the list. And I wanted to just give you this information just because the products are so amazing. That said, then finally, you want to manage your expectations. Most people fail at network marketing because they don't run it as a business. They run it as a family secret. What do I mean by that? The only people they approach for their business are friends and family. And their friends and family have been approached usually previously with some other opportunity. And that's why friends and family usually say, oh, is this another one of your money-making things? So my recommendation is you don't. You don't do that. You don't approach friends and family. In fact, let them approach you. Let them wait until they see what you're doing. Let them, the products that you guys market, are they supplements?
It's a drink, actually. It's called Happy Juice.
Got it. So it's a supplement. It's a nutritional supplement.
Yeah.
Let them see you consuming your supplement. Let them ask the question, what is that? Why do you take that? This is a supplement I've been enjoying for a while. Here's what it does. Here's the benefits I've seen. Here's how it's impacted the quality of my life. So now that they're asking the question, you're not pitching. So I always tell people, no matter what your product is, be a product of the product. If you're a realtor and you don't own your own home, how can you expect them to buy a house from you? If you're an MLM and you're not a product of the product, if it's a fat loss product and you're not actively in the process, you don't have to be at your ideal size and weight, but you want to be in the process of moving toward that. If you are, consuming a mental health product, then make sure you're doing everything you can to demonstrate great mental power and also great, health in that arena. And then finally, I want you to learn the persuasion equation. I want you to learn, how do you sell anyone anything at any time? You saw me up in Toronto. I offered up Turning Point up in Toronto when I was there. And that was many years ago, by the way. I think that was almost 15 years ago, or maybe even longer. Because I haven't been to Toronto for a long time. But here's the question.
Okay.
Did you go to Turning Point?
No.
That would be no. Okay, it's okay. Are you married?
I am not.
Do you have a significant other?
I do not.
Do you have any kids?
I do.
Do you love your kids?
Absolutely.
Good. I'm going to give you 2 tickets. You and bring one of your kids.
Thank you.
To Turning Point.
Okay.
And
awesome.
It's $3,000 a ticket. I'm giving you both tickets totally free. They're making a note in the studio right now that you have 2 tickets for Turning Point in your file. You don't have to come in March, although I would love to see you sooner than later.
Okay.
Though, make sure you get to Turning Point at some time in the future, because not only can you learn powerful skills of influence, you're also going to have a whole lot of target rich environment people there that you can network with. That's one of the biggest things that people do at Turning Point. They network with each other. You could find new customers, you could find new distributors and new members of your team, and you'll win on every level. So congratulations for getting through on the call, Lori. You're very loved. I look forward to seeing you at Turning Point very soon. Like I said, in the studio, they're recording right now what the gift is, and they'll make sure they put you on that. So I want you to go to Sylver, SYLVER.com/TP to check out dates and locations.
Thank you so much, Marshall. Greatly
You're very welcome.
it.
God bless you. You are loved.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Life is so good. Hey, we're wrapping up another amazing day here, dealing with what emerges on this, the most important day of my whole year, of my whole life. This date, February 13th, which, by the way, is Mistress Day. Obviously, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Today is Mistress Day. And I'll tell you more about that on the show tomorrow. In addition, on the show tomorrow, I have a guest, somebody I love very much. His name's Cody Sperber. He is the Clever Investor. If you are a real estate investor, if you are pondering how do we take advantage of what's going on inside the marketplace right now, you want to be on tomorrow's show. In addition, nobody got the secret word of the day. It's been in the box the whole time. And I did. I gave you plenty of opportunity to guess what the word was. The word for today, I said, You're looking for a covering, an umbrella, covering your head. The secret word? Parasol. Parasol's the secret word of the day. Yeah, it just fell out of the box. Parasol is the secret word of the day. So, you know, that means that tomorrow, not only will we have Cody Sperber on the show, teaching you all about things to do with real estate, we also will bump up the secret word prize to $6,000. $6,000 at stake tomorrow. I'm Marshall Sylver, wrapping up another edition of Marshall Sylver Live. Remember, tell at least 5 people that they are loved. Hug a little longer than you thought you needed to. It'll make them feel special. And remember, ultimately, self-confidence is what creates our attractiveness. So choose to know that you are a gift to the world, certainly to my world. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show. Until we see each other again, God bless, make it an awesome day, and celebrate life. Bye for now.